What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go into great detail with all of the stats as well as some excellent attachment combinations for every gun in Black Ops 6. And in today's episode, we're going to be covering the Essex Model 7, which is a marksman rifle. However, it behaves much more like a sniper rifle in this game, so I'm going to be using my sniper rifle format for the gun guides. And that means we're going to hop right into it with our base one-hit kill zones as well as ranges. And as we can see here, from 0 to 33 meters, it's going to be a one-shot kill to the upper torso, upper arms, neck, and head. Anywhere else will be a hit marker. Then from 33 to 66 meters, now we can only get a one-shot kill to the neck and head, and then beyond 66 meters, only the head will give us a one-shot kill. Now we can improve this with the CHF barrel, and as you can see, now in that maximum damage range from 0 to 33 meters, it's going to be a one-shot kill anywhere in the torso as well as the upper arms, but it still doesn't include the lower arms. Either way, this should be eliminating at least a bunch of the hit markers that you would otherwise experience. Then in our second damage range from 33 to 66 meters, now this is the same as our previous maximum damage, where it's going to be a one-shot to the upper torso, upper arms, neck, and head. And then beyond that, it'll be a one-shot kill to the neck and head. So a really nice improvement there with the CHF barrel, and I'd absolutely recommend this since the only downside is to recoil, which doesn't matter with this gun. Now after that, let's have a look at our rate of fire compared to the sniper rifles in the game. Since, like I said, this behaves much more like a sniper rifle than anything, and as you can see, it's 67 rounds per minute, which is very noticeably faster than all of the bolt-action sniper rifles, but it is slower than the semi-autos. Then with rapid fire, we can boost this up to 75 rounds per minute, which is a nice noticeable boost. And our bullet velocity is very impressive, even compared to sniper rifles, at 875 meters per second. Now after that, let's have a look at our ranges in a slightly different format here, primarily so we can look at what the barrels do to the range. And we can see the long barrel will improve our range by 35%, the reinforced barrel improves our range by 20%, but neither of those hold a candle to the CHF barrel, which technically doesn't improve our ranges. However, as we saw earlier, our one-hit kill potential in the second damage range with the CHF barrel is equal to the first damage range without it, and as a result, effectively, we're extending our range out to 66 meters, which in multiplayer is going to take care of almost every single gunfight you'll ever realistically find. So as a result, the CHF barrel is absolutely the clear choice for this gun in the barrel category. And now let's move on to Hipfire, and again, we're going to compare it to the sniper rifles in the game, and compared to sniper rifles, our Hipfire is significantly better since it is a marksman rifle, and it's meant to sort of bridge that gap. We can see for both our minimum and maximum spread values, they're so much better than the sniper rifles, and as a result, at least in close quarter situations, hipfiring isn't completely out of the question with this gun. In a reasonably desperate situation at least, you generally still want to try to get aim down sight, of course. Next, let's get into our handling stats, and our aim down sight time is 380 milliseconds, which is not bad at all if we're comparing it to sniper rifles. Like, it's pretty slow for a marksman rifle, but this isn't like the other marksman rifles, and this is incredibly fast for a sniper rifle in this game. And when it comes to our sprint out time, our standard sprint out time is actually the same as the HDR. However, our tactical sprint out time is noticeably better than the sniper rifles. We don't see as much of a penalty there as we see with sniper rifles. So it definitely excels in that area as well, but at the end of the day, that still only applies to hipfire, since our sprint out time will always be over before we get fully aimed down sight. And then finally for handling, I was quite surprised to find that our swap time is not really out of the ordinary for a sniper rifle in this game. I thought it would be noticeably faster, but it takes 650 milliseconds to pull out a 9mm PM, just like with the HDR, the Frostline, and the SVD. But after that, let's talk about another important sniper rifle stat, and this is idle sway. And while our idle sway delay is the same as, I believe, every normal gun in this game at 2.2 seconds, the amount of idle sway we experience is significantly less than the sniper rifles at just 0.52 degrees. So that's yet another benefit of using this over the sniper rifles. And now let's get into our reload time, which is quite complex with this gun, since we have variable reload times depending on how many rounds we're reloading. And the way this works is if you fire just one round and you want to quickly replenish that round, it takes 2.25 seconds to do that, which is the fastest out of these reload times. Whereas if we need to reload 2 rounds, now it takes us 2.75 seconds to do that, which is the slowest of these 3 values. And then anything 3 rounds or more, if you need to reload 3 or more rounds, now you're going to reload the gun with a stripper clip, which gives you a consistent time of 2.38 seconds. At the end of the day, with this information, I would just make sure that you're always reloading after firing at least 3 rounds. That's just the best bang for your buck as far as reloads go. Taking over 2 seconds to pop a single round in, while it is the fastest, it's not really worth it for 1 single round. 2 rounds is going to be the slowest out of all of them, and then anything after 3 is just nice and consistent and worth taking 2 seconds to reload. Now, alternatively, we could use one of the magazine attachments, And these are quite interesting. When it comes to both extended mag attachments, these now convert it into a detachable box mag, and both of them improve our capacity while stating that they harm our reload time. However, as you can see, both of these actually improve our reload times as well as improving our magazine capacity. And not only that, Extended Mag 2 reloads faster than Extended Mag 1, so very surprising there. Keep in mind though, Extended Mag 2 does have some downsides to our handling, unlike Extended Mag 1, but those are great attachments to be using on this. Or alternatively, you could use the stripper clip, which reduces our capacity, but comes with handling benefits, so it improves aim down sight time and sprint out time a bit. And it gives us a consistent and fast reload time at 1.73 seconds. As for the next set of stats, let's have a look at our mobility stats. And compared to sniper rifles at least, it's not really out of the ordinary for everything aside from our aim walking speed, which is significantly better than any of the sniper rifles in the game. And this means you can actually strafe a little bit into your gunfights with the Essex compared to sniper rifles. Additionally, another benefit we gain over sniper rifles is our base flinch value. While it is fairly high if you're comparing it to like SMGs or assault rifles, it's extremely low compared to the sniper rifles in the game. And that's just by default. You can also reduce that by using something like the heavy stock or the combat stock. So not bad there for a one-shot kill weapon. And then finally, the big question I had here is what kind of aim assist do you get? Do you get the reduced type of aim assist that you get with sniper rifles in the game? Or do you get the full aim assist that you get with regular guns like marksman rifles? And it turns out they were on top of things here. We get sniper rifle level aim assist with the Essex. So it's not super strong like regular guns. There is 0 rotational aim assist when in hipfire, but we do get rotational aim assist when aiming down sight. However, that is reduced rotational aim assist relative to like an assault rifle, for instance. And it's a similar story with our aim slowdown. If we're sweeping across our targets, it is going to be a weaker slowdown compared to the slowdown you'd experience with a non-sniper rifle in this game. And I am really glad they considered this. I think this gun would be totally broken and overpowered if it did have standard aim assist in this game. That would definitely be the thing that just pushes it over the edge, but it's going to perform just like a sniper rifle in this particular area. And there we go. That's going to wrap it up for all of the base stats of the Essex Model 7. Now let's get into a few excellent attachment combinations to use with this. And the first one I wanted to share is my balanced stealth build. This is my all-arounder that I feel confident using on pretty much any map in the game. It allows me to stay off the radar, flank my enemies a little bit, and play quite aggressively as well. With this, we've got the Coupler Microflex Optic, just because I don't love the iron sights on this if I'm trying to stretch the range out and especially line up like a really precise shot. We have a suppressor to stay off the radar, the CHF barrel because it just makes such a big difference with this gun. I would always recommend using that. We have the quick draw lever on this to help with our aim down sight speed as much as possible, and that actually gives us an aim down sight time of 290 milliseconds, which is amazing for a one-shot kill weapon. And then finally, I'm topping this off with the heavy stock just to get that flinch value all the way down to the level of like an SMG in this game. So flinch is basically not a factor in gunfights anymore, and I find this is just a really nice, consistent way to use this, and I've found a ton of success with this particular build. Now, in saying that, I'm sure some of you guys want to really lean into the strengths of this by going with the fastest possible aim down sight speed. So this is where my quick irons build comes in. So with this, we're not using an optic, so just the standard iron sights. We once again, of course, have the CHF barrel on there. We're using the stripper clip since this helps a little bit with our aim down sight speed. The quick draw lever for the fastest possible aim down sight time out of that category. The cutoff stock, which also helps our aim down sight speed a little bit. And then finally, we're topping this one off with rapid fire. So with this, our aim down sight time is 260 milliseconds, which is ridiculously fast for a one-shot kill weapon. Our rate of fire is also 75 rounds per minute, so we can get those follow-up shots off a little bit earlier. And while this does harm our range a little bit by using rapid fire, we're still getting a one-shot kill to the upper torso out to 61.4 meters, which is going to be covering the vast majority of your gunfights. So this one's great if you just want to lean all in on pure speed and aggression when it comes to aiming down sight quickly. And just a little note on this as well, I would recommend pairing this one with the slipstream perk because without it, if you get caught in a tactical sprint, your sprint out time is actually going to limit your aim down sight time when coming out of a sprint. And you just don't have to worry about that if you're using the slipstream perk. And then finally, this leaves us with a tac stance build. Tac stance is actually pretty good on this gun, especially because the cutoff stock will improve your tac stance a little bit. So obviously we're using the tactical laser and the cutoff stock paired together. We're once again using that CHF barrel. We've got rapid fire so we can get those follow-up shots off faster. And then finally, we're topping it off with the CQB lever. And the reason I'm using this one is sprint out time becomes more important when using tac stance. And on top of that, this improves our slide to fire time, so we can actually slide into gunfights more effectively with this as well. and you can play very, very aggressively with this. Obviously, still a slight guessing game. There will be situations where you think you should hit, but you end up missing a shot. But overall, it's a fun change of pace to try out with this, and you can absolutely find a fair amount of success if you play properly to its strengths. And there we go. That's going to wrap it up for today's gun guide on the Essex Model 7. And when it comes to my thoughts on this gun, it is a really good quickscoping style marksman rifle, and it will absolutely be very deadly in the right hands. But that's the key. Put this in the hands of the average player. They're probably not going to perform super well with it. But if you play against somebody that's really good at quickscoping, this thing is very deadly, and it could be very frustrating to play against as well. And as a result, I don't really know where I stand with this at the moment. On one hand, it's fun to open up this quickscoping playstyle a little bit more and allow you to be more aggressive, with some downsides and trade-offs to that compared to a sniper rifle. But at the same time, it is pretty easy to use and quickscope with, and it can be really frustrating not being able to win gunfights against this with a regular gun, because they can get a pretty similar aim down sight time to most of the assault rifles in this game. And yet when using an assault rifle, you have to aim down sight, then hit 4 or 5 shots. Whereas for them, they just have to aim down sight and hit 1 bullet on you to win that fight. So definitely some mixed thoughts on that. And this is where I'm curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How do you feel about the Essex Model 7 in Black Ops 6 so far? Do you guys think it's balanced just fine as it is? Do you think it's maybe a little too powerful or not powerful enough? Just let me know all of the thoughts down below. And if you guys have missed any of the previous gun guides, I will leave a link to the playlist in the description of the video. If you enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.